close your eyes. Forget everything you know about the City of Lights or the Gray City of the 20th century. Before the wall of the Cold War, there was the Wall of the King. Before the neon of the Alexanderplatz, there was the mud of the gallows. Breathe in. The air does not taste of morning. It tastes of cold coal, of damp stone, and the acidic, sharp sting of horse urine that has soaked into the earth over 100 years. This is Berlin, 1750. You are standing on the Lange Brücke, the long bridge. Beneath your feet, the Spree flows like a dying vein, choked with the refuse of a city that has grown too fast for its own soul. Look around you. The fog is lifting, but it reveals no beauty. From this bridge, the 5 districts of Berlin, Alt-Berlin, Zölln, Friedrichswerder, Dorotheenstadt, and the new Friedrichstadt, don't look like neighborhoods. They look like fingers squeezed into a clenched fist. This is the geometry of control. In 1750, the city is a machine, and you are a part that hasn't been assigned a purpose yet. There are 100,000 people crushed into this space. That is a density your modern mind cannot comprehend. There is no personal space. There is only the person breathing down your neck and the person whose heels you are stepping on. Notice the smell? It's a metallic tang. It's the scent of iron, the iron of the muskets, the iron of the cages, the iron in the blood of the thousands of soldiers who walk these streets. Every third person you pass is in uniform. Blue coats, red facings, silver buttons that must shine even in this dim, miserable light, or the man wearing them will face the cane. This is the Prussia of Frederick II, Frederick the Great. He calls himself the first servant of the state, but in this city, the state is a god that demands constant sacrifice. The law here doesn't just regulate your actions, it regulates your heartbeat. Obedience isn't a virtue, it is a biological necessity. The sun is rising over the royal palace, but for the people on this bridge, the sun is just a clock, a reminder that the workday has already begun and you are already behind. Welcome to the machine. Welcome to the nightmare of the Enlightenment. Follow the sound of the clicking. It's not a clock. It's the sound of the manufactory quarter. Prussia wants to be an empire, and empires are built on cloth. Step inside this workshop. The heat hits you first. It's 90 degrees Fahrenheit in here, even though it's freezing outside. The steam rises from the dyeing vats in great choking clouds of indigo and crimson. Here, the French Huguenots, the refugees who traded their homes for the king's protection, are paying their debt. Look at the master weaver. He is a Frenchman. He fled the persecutions of Louis XIV to find a new kind of prison here. He brought the secret of silk. But silk requires sweat. And look down. See that small shadow moving beneath the loom? He is a piecer. His job is to crawl under the machinery while it is moving. If he is fast, he keeps his fingers. If he is slow, the state has no use for him. There is no childhood in Berlin 1750. There is only productivity. This child will work 12 hours today. He will eat a piece of black bread soaked in weak beer. He will sleep on a pile of wool scraps. And tomorrow, he will do it again until his lungs turn blue from the dye or his spirit breaks. Communication is a series of barks and gestures. The noise of the looms drowns out thought. This is the Industrial Revolution before the steam engine. The machine is made of human meat. The Huguenots brought the knowledge, but Frederick provided the discipline. The silk they weave will adorn the backs of generals and queens in Potsdam, but the people making it will never wear anything but rough linen. They are the silkworms of the Prussian state, spinning luxury out of their own misery. Can you feel the vibration of the floor? Thousands of these looms are operating simultaneously across the city. It is a heartbeat that never stops. It is the sound of Berlin transforming from a swampy garrison into a producer of gold. But gold is heavy, and it is crushing the people who forge it. But in Berlin, hunger is a dangerous guide. Look at the stalls. This is the city's stomach, and it is a foul, churning place. Every morning, the peasants from the Brandenburg countryside arrive with their wagons. They have traveled all night through the mud to sell what they have. Breathe in through your mouth. If you use your nose, the smell of the butcher's row will make you retch. There is no ice here. No sell-by dates. The beef hangs in the open air, turning a dull, bruised purple. The flies are so thick they look like a living skin over the meat. If you have money, real silver, you buy the fresh cuts. If you are a laborer from the textile quarter, you wait. You wait until the sun has been on the meat for 6 hours. You wait until the smell turns sharp. Then, and only then, can you afford the scrap that might kill you by morning. See the friction? It's not just about food, it's about culture. The Germans look at the French Huguenots with a simmering, quiet hatred. The French have the king's favor. They have tax exemptions. They sell luxury bread and exotic spices, nutmeg, cinnamon, pepper, things that smell like a world the German peasant will never see. Foreigners, the locals whisper. They speak their bird language and steal the best stalls. But they are both trapped. The French merchant is an exile who can never go home. The German farmer is a serf who can never leave his land. They haggle over pennies in a language of mutual contempt. And watch the guards. In 1750, a uniform is a license to steal. The army is the state, and the state is hungry. You pay your taxes in coin, and you pay your contributions in food. If you complain, there is the Spandau prison. If you resist, there is the gallows. Survival in the Molkenmarkt isn't about nutrition. It's about navigating the whims of the powerful without losing your teeth. Now, wash the blood of the market off your boots. You are on Unter den Linden, under the lime trees. This is the stage where Frederick plays the role of the enlightened king. It is beautiful, isn't it? It stretches from the royal palace to the Brandenburg Gate, which at this time isn't a monument of victory, but a toll station, a customs house. Everything here is a lie. Look at the trees. They were planted by order of the king. They are spaced exactly 30 feet apart. In the summer, they provide shade for the elite. In the winter, like now, their bare branches serve a different purpose. They create perfect sightlines for the sentries. From the balcony of the palace, the king's officers can look down the entire length of the boulevard. There are no corners to hide in. There are no curved walls to shield a conspiracy. The architecture is a weapon. It is the panopticon before the word was invented. This is where the new Berlin lives. The opera house, the library, the cathedral. Frederick wants to prove that he is a philosopher. He hosts Voltaire. He writes poetry in French. He bans torture, mostly. But look at the men building the new university. The reason of the Enlightenment is built on the backs of men who aren't allowed to think. The king loves humanity, but he hates humans. The grand buildings are meant to challenge Vienna and Paris, to say, we are not just a garrison. But the mortar that holds these stones together is mixed with the sweat of the soldiers who are forced to labor on their days off. Unter den Linden is the mask. It is the silk glove that Frederick wears so you don't see the scars on his knuckles. It is a world of logic, music, and order. An order that will punish you if you walk on the wrong side of the street or fail to doff your hat to a passing lieutenant. Step inside. This is where Berlin sleeps. You think you know poverty? You know nothing. In 1750, space is the ultimate luxury, and no one here can afford it. This house was built for 2 families. Now it holds 20. Follow the stairs. They are made of soft wood, worn down in the center by thousands of desperate feet. There is no light here except what spills through the cracks in the doors. In this room, 10 feet by 12 feet, a tailor lives with his wife, 4 children, and 2 boarders. The boarders sleep on the table where the tailor works during the day. The children sleep in a single pile of rags in the corner. There are no bathrooms. There is no running water. If you want to drink, you go to the wooden pump in the courtyard, the same courtyard where the waste from the privies seeps into the soil. This is why the Black Death of the Spirit lives here. Typhus, smallpox, consumption. Disease doesn't travel between these houses. It lives in the walls. And look at the windows. They are small, designed to keep the heat in, but all they do is trap the poison. In the winter, the black soup of soot from the coal fires settles on everything. It's in the milk. It's in the lungs of the newborn. Privacy? Privacy is a dream for the dead. Here, every argument, every intimate act, every dying breath is shared with the neighbors through the thin lath and plaster walls. You are never alone, yet you are completely isolated in your misery. This is the breeding ground for the Prussian character, hard, cold, and silent. Because if you speak, you start a fight. If you feel, you break. The sun is gone. The order of the king is now a ghost. We are at the Alexanderplatz. Today, it is a hub of glass and steel. In 1750, it is a wasteland at the edge of the city walls. It is a place of mud, gallows, and shadows. Do you feel it? The hair standing up on your arms? In the daytime, Berlin is a clock. At night, it is a jungle. The night watchmen patrol in pairs, carrying heavy halberds and lanterns. They are not here to protect you. They are here to protect property. If you are out after the curfew without a lantern and a permit, you are a criminal. But the criminals are already here. These are the Soldaten Taveren. The soldiers are paid almost nothing. They are bored, they are angry, and they are drunk on Brandwein, cheap potato spirits that burn the throat and rot the brain. Gambling, prostitution, violence. This is the shadow economy of the Prussian garrison. The officers turn a blind eye as long as the men show up for parade at 5 a.m. Watch the shadows near the Königstor, the King's Gate. Tobacco, silk, coffee, the king has banned or taxed them all to pay for his wars. So the night belongs to the smugglers. It's a high-stakes game. If the Akzize officers catch you, it's the branding iron or the whip. In the dark of the Alexanderplatz, the Enlightenment is a joke. There is only the cold, the hunger, and the predatory silence of a city waiting to devour the weak. If you are smart, you are behind a locked door with a knife under your pillow. The journey ends here. At the Aktiesmauer, the excise wall. It is 14 kilometers of brick and hatred. It circles the city like a noose. You might think it's there to keep an invading army out. It isn't. The French, the Austrians, the Russians, this wall wouldn't stop them for an hour. This wall is built to keep you in. It is midnight. Berlin is closed. Every person who enters this city is a source of revenue. Every person who leaves is a loss. But most importantly, the wall is there to stop the blood of the state from leaking out. See him? He is 20 years old. He was kidnapped from his village by a pressing party. He has been beaten every day for 3 years. He wants to go home. But if he climbs this wall and the sentry sees him, death is the only discharge from the Prussian army. Desertion is the ultimate sin in this city. If you are caught, you don't get a trial. You get the gallows dance. Frederick the Great needs his giant grenadiers, and he doesn't care if they are happy. He only cares if they are present. This was Berlin, 1750, a city of logic built on top of madness, a city of reason that functioned through terror, a city where French refugees and German serfs were forged into a single iron cog in the king's machine. It was a world of absolute order, where every breath was a tax and every step was a drill. It was the birth of the modern state, efficient, cold, and heartless. Now, look at your own life, your rights, your freedom, your comforts. If you were dropped into the mud of the Molken Market tonight, without your technology, without your laws, without your soft, modern heart, how long would you last before the machine ground you into dust? Or would you, too, learn to love the sound of the clicking loom and the sight of the polished bayonet? Berlin is watching, and the king is never satisfied.